Hey friend, welcome back to the Live Legacy Now podcast. I am so glad that you're here with us today. Thank you for taking time out. I know your time is valuable and we are going to add value to you today. I have a friend here. His name is Jeff. And why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Hey, yeah. Hi, my name's Jeff, and I've been in the real estate business for 30 years or so. Came to Oklahoma to go to ORU, and then ended up staying here and raising family, and now got kids and grandkids, and I do mortgages for a living. Been doing that 25 years, and been in the finance markets for 30 years. So, and I've known Jennifer for 30 years of that. Yeah. So a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We met when we were 10.
Yes.
He and I were talking the other day about a new product that he has, or what I like to call a vehicle to create wealth. And so I thought, man, this would be great for anyone to hear about that is interested in building a real estate portfolio. And we can talk more about that as we get into this.
Yes.
But there's three things I want to look here because I don't want to misquote anything. Three things that we're going to talk to you guys about today. Number one, how can you get into the real estate market as a new investor? Now, there are lots of ways you can get into the real estate market. Today, we're primarily going to talk about investing in real estate. Number two, what are the benefits of getting into real estate as an investor? And then number three, what are the benefits and what is the joy of, and also the hardships of becoming self-employed? So I know that lots of people have a dream, and that's good. And we want to help you actualize that. So Why don't you tell them about this new, I don't know, is the product new?
It's been, I don't know how new it is. It's been around at least a couple of years, but really been exploring it, really just more recent, to be honest. I've been looking at it. It's called a DSCR loan. It's a debt service, I always forget the R, recoverable. Anyway, it's called a DSCR loan. And what it is really based on, it's a vehicle to help investors that are wanting to buy investment properties or that currently own investment properties. So I'll kind of go into some examples of that here in just a minute. The DSCR loans, the investors that I use for that really like to see a person own their own home first. So they want to have a primary house. So this is really a product that's designed for people that already have a home and now either want to, one, start investing, or two, that already have investment properties and they need to maybe refinance and get some money out of it. What it is, in a nutshell, it doesn't go off a person's personal income. It goes off how does the property that you want to either buy or refinance, how does it debt service? So, example, if you bought a house and the loan on the house is going to cost you $1,500 a month, but you can rent it out for $2,000 a month, you have a ratio of about 1.33 right in that area, which is a good ratio because you're making money on the house.
I know this is our livelihood and this is what we eat, sleep, and breathe. But for the person listening, tell us, what is an investor?
An investor, I'm going to back up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
And the reason I got into wanting to buy real estate and have rental properties and maybe buy a house and fix it up and sell it is because when I was younger, I heard a guy say, and it really resonated with me, that real estate has made more millionaires than any other vehicle, owning real estate. And I thought, wow, that's something that I can hopefully try to do. And so an investor is somebody that wants to, in my opinion, is somebody that wants to own more than just their primary house.
Okay.
Right? They want to own maybe a second home that they can rent out, or maybe a house that they could turn into an Airbnb, right? Or they could turn into just a monthly rental. Yeah. So that's where we have different vehicles that you can use to buy those homes. Traditionally, you would have to come up with, and you still do, you have to come up with money down, but traditionally you had to come up with 20, 25% down. Then you had to be able to prove your income with W-2s, or if you're self-employed, maybe with a Schedule C or an S Corp. But now you don't have to do that with a DSCR. What I mean by that, you don't have to prove your income with a DSCR loan. You still have to prove your ability to put money down so that you can become an investor. So where can you get that money down? I mean, there's a lot of avenues that you can do that. If you own a current home, you could possibly take out a home equity loan on your house for your 20% down on an investment property. So when I was younger, I said I got into the investment field. I had owned, I think, 3 or 4 homes at this time, but I wanted to buy more. And I was telling my dad about it. And I was able to, because I owned some rental properties, borrow against my rental properties. I was able to come up with $25,000. And I wanted to buy 7 fourplexes. So I was telling my dad about it, and he called me back. Oh, it was 2 or 3 weeks later. He goes, you know what? I can come up with 25 grand. I'm going to give you it.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, and they're listening to this and they're like, man, I don't have $50,000. Their down payment or part of this could be a gift.
Could be a gift.
Okay. So they could get gift funds. What about if they have always thought of themselves as, I want to invest in the stock market, and so they've got money in their 401k? Could they borrow money from their 401k for their down payment?
Yeah, you have to double check and see what your 401k parameters are, but a lot of times you can borrow to buy a home out of that. Yeah, so you can borrow against your 401k to start investing and so forth. So the DSCR loan is kind of like some of the loans back in 2007, 8, and 9, because you don't have to prove your income.
Okay.
But you have to prove where your money's coming from, right?
So I remember that because I was a W-2 person until 2002 when I started selling real estate 25 years ago. And then I became a 1099 employee. And so my income dramatically changed on paper.
Yes.
And so I do remember 2007 and 8, whenever we could just show your bank statements. And let's just say for regular terms, like if I'm putting $10,000 a month in my bank account, then that's what they're going to count for my income. Am I understanding that correctly on this new loan?
No, they don't even look at your income on the new loan.
Wow.
No, they don't even look at your income. They look at the debt servicing ratio.
Okay.
So the house that you're going to buy, what is it going to rent for? They'll even give you money on if your payment is going to be $1,750 on the investment property, and your rent is going to be $1,750. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. You can still do the DSCR loan with that.
So even if it's going to break even?
Yeah, even if it's going to break even.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have to have decent credit to do this. Why is that important? Well, I like to see a 680 credit score or higher.
Okay.
Then you can still put your 25% down, depending on the investor. But if you have lower credit than that, you could still buy, but you have to have more money to put down if you have a lower credit score.
Okay.
So, so why do you want to invest?
Why would somebody want to invest?
Why do you want to invest?
In real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I wanted to invest to build equity. I wanted to build my net worth with real estate, because houses really over the years have always gone up in value. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes they've slowed down, sometimes they've stagnated. Some areas have gone the opposite way, but for the most part, they've gone up. They've appreciated in value, which makes your net worth as a person go up. Then for me, it's also that you have some residual income. So if you bought the house for your payment's $1,500 a month and you're making $1,750, you're making, $250 a month on that house. And if you have enough of them, that adds up over time.
Right. And so one thing that I've always encouraged people whenever they come to me and they say, help me build a plan to purchase investment property and then use this passive income that he's talking about to fund my perfect life. One thing that I really love that I did, this is what I did, is I purchased my first home. I lived in it for a while. I saved up, and then I bought my second home. And I moved to that one. I made my first home a rental property.
Investment property. Yeah.
And then I lived in my second home. And that might be a much more attainable goal for someone to become, as we're saying, a real estate investor by just as your life warrants you moving up, you just turn everything, you never sell a home. And I don't want to put us out of business, but I have told many people when they call me over to possibly list their home, do the numbers work where you could keep this as a rental and start building what I like to call mailbox money. Just money that arrives every month without you having to go out and work for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, the American dream is entrepreneurship and self-employment. And so if that's something that someone's thought, man, I want that, this is a great way to start building that.
Absolutely.
And if you have other questions about it, of course, we want to answer those questions. But I think freedom is a lot too. And I know that a lot of people post-COVID have not wanted to go back into the traditional workforce. And so this could be a great way for you to achieve that freedom in your schedule while still earning a good income.
I agree. 100%. Okay. So, and then if you're a seasoned investor already, you can use the DSCR loan to refinance current rental properties just by the ratio and making sure that your ratio is there. So, I mean, a lot of people have some equity in those properties, and if they want to buy other properties, you can use the DSCR loan to refinance as well. So it's just not a purchase vehicle, but it's also a refinance vehicle down the road. And then the thing that I've really loved too about becoming a owning real estate and so forth, that it helps you become self-employed, right?
Yes.
As a realtor, you're a 1099, so you're already self-employed. Me, I'm doing mortgages. I'm a W-2 employee. But to become self-employed, to have that area on my taxes that I can write off some additional stuff, I love the idea of owning real estate. So, it helps in a lot of areas.
And there's one thing too, I really want to encourage people on is, set yourself a goal of how many investment properties you might want to buy. Don't overwhelm yourself, but set a goal. And then, reach out to one of us and we can try to help you formulate a plan to achieve that goal. And then what's really powerful is the snowball effect. And so once you start accumulating these properties, let's say you get $300 a month off of each of them, you pour it back into the principal and you start paying them off. And before you know it, you've got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month coming in from what started as your primary residence.
As your primary residence.
Or $200 a month. So these little steps that you can take that we can walk you through can really help you achieve that big goal of financial freedom.
Absolutely.
And I love the possibility of people being able to use this loan, especially self-employed people that don't have a W-2 and you can't prove your income. This is a great product for you.
Yeah, absolutely. They pay their bills, but they are self-employed and learn how to justifiably write off a lot of their income, and they don't show it on paper, but they really make the money. So it's an excellent loan for that.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. So at the end of every one of our episodes, we like to have a 3, 2, 1. So 3 things you learned, 2 things you're going to share, and 1 thing that you're going to execute on. So hopefully today you learned that everyone can be a real estate investor. You don't have to be an investor to be an investor already. Number 2, there are vehicles to get you there. If you are a 1099 employee, you don't have to be discouraged that you can't show your income anymore. Because with that product, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And then number 3, they can use other means to get the down payment, such as a gift from a family member, their 401k,
right? Or
they can traditionally save up.
Yep. Or borrow against their primary residence if they want to buy their next house.
So what 2 things do we want them to share?
I would love them to share the podcast.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
please share our podcast.
Share if it's on YouTube.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
So,
what else?
I would share your vision or your dream. I would, if you have one, make sure that you're sharing it a little bit with some trusted friends and people that you really are solid with, and just let them know what you want to do. And then after that, act on your dreams. So maybe get pre-approved, for with me, and then talk to Jennifer about maybe having her send you some homes that are on the market and start the journey. I mean, you got to start somewhere, and it's truly a journey. I mean, over life, but I mean, where you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow, but you got to make the difference. So you got to start.
I love that. And so the one thing that I want to encourage you to execute on is get the dream and then write it down, because you can't hit a target you can't see. And we want you to chase your dreams, and we want to come alongside you. We want to chase you while you chase your dreams, or run with you.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so thank you so much for your time today, whether you were on a jog or on your way to work. We hope that this added some value to your life. We would love to meet with you one-on-one, so reach out to us. And remember, your legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what all the decisions you're making every day. So go and live your legacy and come back and see us.
Have a great day.
Hey guys, thank you so much for your time today. If you got value out of what we talked about, please share this with someone that you want to start living their life with purpose, on purpose. And remember, you are living your legacy right now, and I cannot wait to see you again next time.